Over the weekend, we've seen the second wave of Aeldari pre-orders go live on the Games Workshop website. This is the first launch, post the 5% increase, that we've seen come to life. The thing I've come to notice most of all from all this is not the main pricing being too high. It's the lack of models per box for the value asked up front. It's also the realization there is a squeeze on the number of sprues per box whenever possible. And this is, in my opinion, the biggest issue with the recent Games Workshop releases. Looking at what is on offer, we can see that many of these models are quite detailed and extremely good looking. One might even go as far as to say they are beautiful. By bringing up this subject, I think it's important to note that these models have value and virtue to them. It is not that I am decrying Games Workshop for producing a low-quality product. The release of the Aeldari, to my mind, shows the larger issue beginning to come to the game. This issue is that there are set prices for each box set, and those prices are largely unaffected over time, but there is a lower quantity of models per box, regardless of the number of sprues within. A good example of what comes to mind from outside of the Aeldari range would be the Primaris Heavy Intercessors, which have the same size of sprue as regular intercessors. The same amount of plastic goes into this. The Heavy Intercessors come in a box of 5, and cost more than a normal box of 10 intercessors. Why is this? How is this? Why is it that one box can cost 35 British pounds and have 10 models as well as 4 sprues, and another can cost 40 pounds and come with 5 models and 2 sprues that are the same size? There are rules, expectations, and whatnot, but that makes even less sense when it comes to the Aeldari release, to be quite frank. For instance, are Rangers such an elite, physically imposing unit that 5 Rangers should be priced as though they are Terminators, or Gravis armor? Do their 3 sprues constitute that they should be more expensive in some way? Almost prohibitively so. Guardians, a troop type, cost less money and have more models. Certainly they almost have to give that under the circumstances, but Dire Avengers and Old Kit aren't much better off at 5. To me, this isn't an issue of the price per box. I don't mind Rangers being $70 Canadian to buy them off the shelf. What I mind is when a unit is really going to cost me 140 Canadian dollars to get, because that's what I'm going to need to spend to get the actual full unit of 10. Worse yet, the unit, again, is not exactly the elite of the elite. They have a very limited amount of weaponry and options. And though they definitely have their use on the tabletop, it borderlines on the ridiculous that they would be priced this way. The same thing could follow to, say, Chaos Havocs, or Necron Immortals. Is the problem the price of the box? I'd actually say no. The problem appears to be the number of miniatures in the box. Just to be clear, the price of making this box and shipping it in terms of its material cost outdoes the cost of the plastic within. High-quality boxes and high-quality art prints actually cost a fair bit of money to produce for retail operations. Even when factoring the machinery into account, let's put it this way, there is a reason you can sell a 4-sprue box and make a squad of 10 intercessors at a profit at the same price as a 3-sprue box to make 5 Rangers. The Aeldari range, sadly, just suffers from this much more than other ranges. So far. The thing I hope for one day, perhaps a day that I will never see, or a day very far from now, is the day where we are charged per sprue, or per sprue size, rather than being arbitrarily charged random rates for different boxes, simply because the company can, at this time, get away with it. I like Games Workshop. I even respect how smart they are at handling their business, but sometimes a spade is simply a spade. Join us later this week where we are going to be discussing the Tyranids and how they are truly the army with the most potential across any system of Warhammer 40,000. With that, thank you for joining me here today. If you're enjoying this content, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. I'll catch you all as well in the comments section below.